Happy Monday!
So we're going to make popsicles.
We are, yes. Today we're going to first start you and show you how I make my kombucha. And then we're going to make kombucha popsicles from kombucha that I've made a few weeks ago. And then we are going to be making lemon poppy seed muffins, my mini muffins that I haven't made in a while, but that's what those are. We're going to make those. Why are you pressing that in? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Be careful here. With kombucha. I've had a few people just this past week ask why should they be drinking kombucha. And so kombucha has got a lot of different benefits. Let me talk for a second. It is incredible for gut health, which also helps with your immune system. I take about a cup every day, especially if I'm not taking other probiotics. So this acts like a probiotic. I use green tea, so it's fermented green tea or fermented tea, just like, wine's fermented grapes and kefir's fermented milk, or I guess yogurt, sour cream, sauerkraut, that's what I was thinking, sauerkraut. So this is just another great way to boost your immune system by having a healthier gut system with increasing your probiotics. I do recommend, if you are interested in it, store-bought and homemade is a little bit different. Next week, or maybe in 2 weeks, depending on if my kombucha is ready, I'll do a double ferment that has another flavor to it. So and I'll kind of show you the steps, and once it's ready to be harvested, then that's whenever I flavor it again. So this is strawberry basil that I flavored, and you just set it out for another day. Sometimes I just put it right into the fridge. It just gives it a different flavor, because the regular kombucha can sometimes be a little bit more on the vinegar taste, which a lot of times that's because it's been set too long. I usually ferment mine for about 7 to 10 days. Okay, chill out. Got a little puzzler here. So we're just going to go ahead and start. The tools or the main things that you need for making your own kombucha, because it is very much cost effective when you do it that way, because one of these bottles I think is almost $4, somewhere around there, and my kombucha makes about 5 to 6 of these jars, and it takes very little ingredients. So if you do have a lot of these jars and you're interested in making kombucha, save the jars, because then this is what you can put your kombucha in. So the biggest thing I will say you need to have is a pickle jar, a big pickle jar. So this,
Can I try this?
no, it's not even ready yet. So this holds, I think, about 12, 13 cups of water. In it, I have a cup of organic cane sugar. This is the only thing that I use sugar in. So I usually get a big bag from Costco, and it lasts me forever because it only takes a cup. What do you want? You want to smell it? So then I don't have my big pot to boil water in, so instead I boiled water in my kettle. So it takes about 12 cups of water. You need a big jar, a cup of sugar, and I use 8 tea bags, green tea, organic, And then the biggest thing that you need is a cup to 2 cups of starter liquid with the SCOBY. So the SCOBY is what is making the kombucha. It's what's fermenting everything. And that's where the sugar is the food for the SCOBY. So that's where there's not really a very, very minimal amount of sugar in the actual finished kombucha drink, because the SCOBY has already eaten up most of the sugar. Now I'll show this, I'll take this out of the bag and show this, but I'm not going to put it in the jar because the water is going to be hot and I don't want it to kill my SCOBY. But the SCOBY stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, which is what provides the good probiotics. So I have a cup of sugar in here, and I'm just heated up, I think it's about 6 cups of water that holds in this kettle. So I'm basically doing, you want it to be hot water because you want the sugar to dissolve as well as your tea. So I then will throw the tea bags in, and it's going to steep. And I will keep this in here all day. And then at the end of the day, probably tonight, I'll come back and then I'll scoop all the tea bags out. And then that's when I'll lay my SCOBY, just set it in on top, and then I'll cover it with a washcloth and a rubber band. So you need a big jar, washcloth, rubber band, sugar, and the SCOBY. So those, I mean, and this is all it takes to make your own kombucha. So then I'm just adding more water. I could probably do a little bit more water. So I'll fill it up to probably just right before it funnels up. My girls, they've had kombucha since they were very little. I mean, I would dilute it for them. I also have made kombucha jello, where, I mean, it's just kombucha with a, what?
I said that I'm going to eat, help you, and then what told them, what told say that I had to help you, then I go over there and help you.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to set this aside. So like I said, at the end of the day today, I'll take the tea bags out, and then I'll set my SCOBY on top, and I'll cover it with a washcloth that has holes in it, or a cheesecloth, and I'll cover it, or I'll wrap it in a rubber band. And then I set this in my cupboard, like my lower cupboard here, for 7 to 10 days. Don't even think about it until usually around day 8 or 9. No, that might be hot. And then that's when I take it back out, and I'll show you that step whenever I might do a special live show on that day, show you how I flavor it. You can do all kinds of flavors. Like I said, we've got strawberry basil in this one. I have a patient who did ginger turmeric, which was really cool. I've never tried that. You can do mango, you could put just a little bit of fruit juice on the bottom. But I usually do, a lot of times I'll put frozen berries in the jars and then fill it up with the kombucha. All right, so now, because they are out of popsicles, we are going to make kombucha popsicles. A lot of times I'll put leftover smoothies in their little popsicle holders, or I'll just do kombucha. So we're gonna do kombucha. And I won't fill it all. I do dilute it, especially for the girls. I don't necessarily dilute it anymore for me, but if you, like I said, if you are just starting out drinking kombucha, I highly recommend diluting it. And work yourself up to it. I'd say the goal is maybe 2 cups a day. which is one jar of this. Oop, that's a little full.
Don't make it full. But you make it full.
I did make it full.
And that wasn't good.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'll stick these in the freezer when we're done here. And especially now that's summertime and it's hot, these are great to give kids. Make sure they're getting healthy probiotics. Okay, stop. So now we are moving on. We are going to be making, oh yeah, we're going to be making my lemon poppy seeds muffins. So stop. Okay, no more. So I've got eggs in here and avocado oil, and then we're going to add some honey. You want to squeeze the honey in?
Yeah.
We'll put some honey in. Okay, that's it. That's all that honey. And then we will mix this a little bit. Let me get it started. Okay. And then Scarlett, you want to put some of that in? So then Scarlett is putting in there some coconut flour. So this is just coconut flour. Just put it right in the middle. So coconut flour, baking soda, some sea salt, and poppy seeds goes in that. And then I use the mini muffin tray, so it doesn't take long to make. So I'm zesting my lemon here. I usually put I usually put a little extra lemon zest because I love the flavor and the taste of the lemon. Yeah.
And I love you.
What?
Why do you think I owned it?
I don't know.
I just here.
So we're gonna mix that.
What's your toilet?
Okay, hold on, let me get it started, okay?
You just did a toilet.
Thanks. And so this usually, because I made a little bit before I started this. It goes on the oven 350 and it usually takes like 5 minutes. It doesn't take, hold on, doesn't take very long. Maybe 10 minutes. I forget what, yeah. If you're using the bigger muffins, I would do probably 12 minutes, 12 to 15. But if you're using mini muffins, so you want to try and get most of the lumps out from the coconut flour. You want to? Go ahead. Okay. Oops. Let's clean that up.
Maybe we need a towel.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll clean this up in a bit. Oh, I see. All right.
Can I eat
No.
that?
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to put these in my muffin tin and then I will set them in the oven. How's that taste? Would you like to taste a real muffin?
Mm-hmm.
Show them what it looks like. Okay. These freeze really well too. How is it? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
one batch usually makes about 24 mini muffins. Okay. All right. Sure. So these, they like them. I like them. They're delicious. And they don't take much time at all to make. The only key thing is a lot of times I don't have poppy seeds. A friend of mine was like, I don't even know where you would get poppy seeds. And poppy seeds isn't a common ingredient to have, which is true. But I bought this at Whole Foods a few weeks ago, thinking, oh, I'm going to, that's not ready. I'm going to make lemon poppy seed for the cooking show.
No, I'm going to put it in the freezer.
No, it might be full. I'll have to put it in there. So, all right. So we are all done. What do you want to say, Scarlett? Do you want to say anything?
I hope you have a good day.
All right. You guys have a great week, and thanks for joining me. And I hope you try these. And I hope to see some comments from what you guys try and what's how it tastes for you. Have a great week.